Hi guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Team USA members Steph Curry, Steve Kerr react to Trump rally shooting. The deadly shooting on Saturday, July 13th at a political rally for former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania was felt by Americans halfway across the world, including Golden State Warriors and Team USA men's basketball head coach Steve Kerr. Kerr has long been an outspoken advocate for gun control in the United States. That is at least in part due to the fact that the militant group Islamic Jihad assassinated his father Malcolm Kerr in Lebanon in 1984. Kerr's father was serving as president of the American University of Beirut at the time. Team USA is currently in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, where it will take part in international competition leading up to the 2024 Summer Olympics that begin in Paris later this month. Brian Windhorst, who was also in Abu Dhabi and covering the team for ESPN, asked Kerr for his thoughts on what appears to be an assassination attempt on former President Trump, who is currently running for re-election as the Republican nominee. It's such a demoralizing day for our country, and it's yet another example of not only our political division but also gun culture, Kerr told Windhorst, a 20-year-old with an AR-15 trying to shoot the former president. It's hard to process everything, and it's scary to think about where this goes because of the issues that already exist in the country. So this is a terrible day. Warriors point guard Stephen Curry, who was also a player on Team USA, offered his thoughts to Windor on Sunday as well. It's obviously a very sad time in general, Curry said. All the conversations around the election and the state of politics in our country, and then you have a situation like this which just evokes a lot of emotions around things that we need to correct as a people. The two-time most valuable player and four-time NBA champion also took the opportunity to advocate for gun control as well as positivity in an American political landscape that he feels is too devoid of it. Obviously gun control first and foremost, because the fact that that's even possible for somebody to have an attack like that, Curry continued, but just more so you want to see positivity and hope. It sounds cheesy, but it's real. That's when our country's at its best, and it just adds another blemish to what's going on. So sad is just the word. Hare added that he was thankful Trump wasn't hit. The shooter actually did hit the former president as a bullet grazed his right ear and caused visible bleeding from the wound that rolled down his face. Trump's injury was not fatal, and his campaign described his condition as fine following the attack, for a report from the Associated Press AP. However, 3 rally attendees were also injured in the attack, which the AP said left 1 victim dead and 2 others in critical condition. All 3 victims were men, according to the report. The FBI on Sunday morning identified the 20-year-old shooter with the AR-15, who see referenced in his comments as Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Crooks perpetrated the attack from the roof of a building located outside of the rally. The AP said Secret Service agents subdued the threat by returning fire and ultimately shooting Crooks, who died as a result of his wounds. According to the AP, this is a time where we feel very proud to represent our country wearing USA on our chest, competing in the Olympics. Kerr continued during his interview with Windor, we've talked to the players about how important it is to show the best version of us as human beings, to represent our country in a respectful, dignified manner. It makes you want to do that even more so, because this is really shameful for us to sit here and think about what happened and what's going on in our country. Warriorstrade pitchwood move Andrew Wiggins and more for 2-3-and-D wings after the Brooklyn Nets traded Mel Bridges to the New York Knicks. They could look to trade other assets as they head into a rebuild. A Golden State Warriors are looking to improve their roster and could benefit from the Nets trading away other players in a proposed trade. From Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report, the Warriors would move Andrew Wiggins, a future first-round pick, and more Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Warriors would get Johnson, Finney-Smith. Nets would get Wiggins, Kevin Looney, future first-round pick, second-tier prospect not Jonathan Kuminga or Brandon Podolski. Every win now team is surely taking a long look at the Brooklyn Nets right now, as they seemingly signaled an intent to rebuild by shipping out two-way swingman M. Bridges for 5 first-round picks. Buckley wrote on July 11, even if the Nets aren't of the everything-must-have mindset, they should still be open to dealing reliable veterans for draft assets. The Warriors meanwhile should be open to flipping a few long-term assets for plug-and-play contributors. Could Golden State and Brooklyn gain traction on trade talks built around 3 and forward Dorian Finney-Smith and 68 net shredder Cameron Johnson? If their Warriors are willing to put a couple future-focused assets into the exchange, this seems doable. When the Golden State Warriors won a championship in the 2021-22 season, Wiggins was a huge reason for their success. He was named an All-Star in the campaign, the first and only selection of his career, playing in 73 games. Wiggins shot 46.6% from the field and 39.3% from three-point range on 5.5 attempts per game. He averaged 17.2 points, 4.5 rebounds and 2.2 assists per game. However, his production has taken a hit in the past 2 seasons, shooting 35.8% from three-point range on 3.6 attempts last year and averaging just 13.2 points per game. He showed the ability to be an above-average defender when the Warriors won the NBA Finals in 2022, but he's also slowed down on that side of basketball. According to Logan Murdoch of The Ringer, Wiggins will be aggressive put in trade talks due to his inconsistent role over the past 2 years. League sources believe Andrew Wiggins, who struggled to find a consistent role last season, will be aggressively dangled in trade talks. Murdoch wrote on June 26, Warriors HC Steve Kerr not ruling out Jonathan Kuminga trade. The Warriors reportedly failed to land Paul George this offseason due to their reluctance to trade Jonathan Kuminga. According to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne, the Clippers and Warriors had a deal in place until the latter resisted moving Kuminga. George would subsequently sign with the Sixers as a free agent. The ESPN report led many to believe Kuminga had been assigned the untouchable tag franchises place upon their cornerstones and young stars. However, Warriors head coach Steve Kerr shot down the notion Thursday in an interview with 95.7 The Game. He emphasized that every member of the Warriors roster was available in trade talks except Stephen Curry. First of all, you have to understand there's very few players in the league who are not talked about in trade discussions. Kerr said Steph Curry is not being discussed in trade talks, everybody else is, and if you went down the list of teams, the Lakers probably are not talking to anybody about LeBron James. Everybody's got maybe 1 or 2 guys who are off the table. So the vast majority of the players in the NBA, the players are constantly going to be discussed in trade talks because everyone's trying to do the same thing, which is improve. When asked specifically about Kuminga's status as a trade chip, Case said he's excited about coaching the 4th-year forward in the 2024-2 NBA season. We love the strides he has taken. He's got room to grow, which is exciting. Kerr said of Kuminga, it's rather telling that Kerr, who wields a lot of influence in the Warriors front office, didn't categorically rule out a trade involving Kuminga. Kerr's comments could also be a giveaway of Golden State being open to dealing Kuminga to the Jazz for prized All-Star forward Lauri Markkanen. According to ESPN's Tim McMahon, the Jazz are seeking Kuminga to consider parting with Markkanen. Kuminga, 21, averaged 16.1 points, 4.8 rebounds and 2.2 assists in his third season with the Warriors and you fan. What do you think of the situation of Jonathan Sig, and leave your opinion in the comments.